the Gunpla Network. Today we're going to take a look at the Gaplant TR-5 Hrairoo. This was brought to us by our fine sponsors over there at Canadian Gundam, so make sure you use your code Gunpla Network to save 10% off your entire order. Now I would like to mention that this is straight out of the box, built without any panel lining, stickers, only some foil stickers, and without any of the decals that were provided. Speaking of, I've only used a few of the foil stickers here. As you can see, it is a giant sheet of yellow. So a lot of these vent covers and everything are going to be covered up with the yellow. I prefer to paint those later on. I did use some of the green foil stickers to see what that would look like for effect before painting. And here are the decals that are provided with the kit. As you can see here, they look fantastic. So once I'm done doing all the details and everything, probably in like a month or two, I'll go ahead and post it on my Instagram. Just a few things before we start this kit. I did want to mention that it is kind of a hand grenade. It's got a little bit of loose parts and everything like that, but we'll get into it once I start the articulation. But if you like a big hulking kit, this is the kit for you, and I absolutely love it in its flight form. Let's talk about the building experience real quick. A lot of the pieces had some very large runner parts that you had to cut off. They were very, very thick. It made me scared to use my god hands on them in fear that I might have broken them. But I used a different pair of nippers and then shaved them down, yada yada yada. Some of those areas were hard to clean up, as you'll see in the articulation, especially on the shields here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and start picking up this thick boy and start the articulation. The kit does come with a mono eye on the inside. I won't take that off as the V-fin does come off fairly easily on its own, and I really don't feel like messing with it. Head movement, you're not really going to get any left and right, but you do get some up and down. The torso has a locking mechanism. If I unlock this, I'll be able to flip it back, and that is part of the flight form transformation, and it does pretty much this. So while that's torn apart there, as you can see here, there are the locking mechanisms for the body and the peg that holds it in prior to the transformation. And a fair warning to anybody building this kit and handling it, things love to fly off of it, so just have that in your mind to be expected if you are picking up this kit. So the torso, we're not going to get any movement at all unless we unlock it. As you saw, when you do unlock it, bad things happen. The arm rotation is fairly nice, but it gets caught on the shoulders. You're going to have to move them out the way to get a full rotation. And since there's so much armor on there, I was really surprised that the peg held on so well, and you can actually leave it in positions. Being an older kit, the bend at the elbow is actually this way. So kind of strong arming there. If you do it this way, he's kind of flicking you off with the beam gun there. So here's another look at that from the side. And that's about all of the bend that you're going to get that way. And each shield does have pretty much the same articulation. You got a little bit of up and down. And as you can see, the thrusters are in there. And you get a nice rotation, as well as both can retract and extend. Now let's talk about these shoulders. Other than looking awesome and reminding me of Justice from Guilty Gear, they are kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to remove these two shields real quick so I can show you. So you can raise them up, but you have to be very, very careful when you do this. And both sides do move up independently and can come all the way forward like so, but they come off so easily. The left side facing forward does not open up, but the right side does have a nice little gun on the inside, as you can see there. And you can close that lid simply like so. So the front skirt here, it's a little wiggly, which is strange. I was looking at the manual just in case I messed something up, but nope, it was completely fine. These side skirts also have very limited articulation as well. No side to side, they're just pretty much stuck. The back skirt, oh my god, it's already falling off, so let me put that back on. Oh, and it came off anyways. So let me put this back on real quick and let's talk about this. As the shoulder is also coming off, hold on one second.
A few moments later.
So, taking a look at the back of the unit, you have the nice thruster. These are all yellow, which was surprising to me. You got a little articulation with that. The tail also extends and comes up. It's got a little holder there, and that is to hold the rifle. And you can flip this around all the way like so to bring it up to be able to hold the gun in various positions. Now I'm going to remove the tail so I can show you the back skirt here. So everything's held on by pegs. You got a nice thruster detail as well as vent details on the bottom, which you actually never see because of the tail until it's in its flight form. These parts right here love to come off. I will glue them on later once I get it into its eternal flight form. And you're only going to get this little bit of skirt twerking that you see here. And like I said, these things fall off like crazy. Taking a look at the legs, we got that nice stanky leg as you can see here. The kick up to the front gets blocked by that skirt. The bend at the knee, pretty good actually for being so bulky. And the kick to the back, really not that bad with the back skirt kind of getting in the way. Foot articulation. Thruster detail, like I said, is on fleek. The feet, you will get a toe tuck, as well as a back and forth. Alright, as I mentioned before, there are some really thick parts on the runner here. Let me see if the camera will pick it up. As you can see there, I did the best that I could to clean up this nub mark. I went pretty far down into the grit from high to low, and you can still see that there. Obviously, I'll clean it up a little bit more when I do some painting, but it doesn't look great if you're just building straight out of the box. Oh yeah, and on this side it actually broke off of the runner for me, so that was a big negative in my point. And if you ever watch me build on stream, you know that I take absolute care and finesse with my kits. It takes me a very long time because I treat them like little babies that I'm building, so it's just really a big letdown on such an awesome looking kit. Let's go ahead and move on to its accessories here. First up with the beam sprayer. It's very small, it's not impressive, but it gets the job done. Now you can turn this little guy into a giant sniper rifle with a heat blade that is super duper long. You're gonna get one of these, and one of these. So what you're gonna do is you're going to take this gun, take this extension, slide that onto the front like so. Then the back will go on like that. There is an additional piece, because if you don't put this on there, this one right here, underneath, this thing is going to be chaotic and fall off all over the place. So that right there is going to ensure that the gun does not come off. You'll see some peg holes here on the bottom. Basically what that is for is this extension piece that you can peg on in here, like so. And I just ripped the tail off to show you how this connects, so we're just going to extend this out. And then you're just going to pop that right in. And it's going to wiggle about on the tail. Pretty cool, but fairly loose. Then we have a V-fin for the transformation mode. A few pieces that latch onto the gun, which you'll see later. And some pieces to attach to the gun. You'll see these kind of put on later. They're kind of a pain in the butt. Then a awesome rifle shield holder thing, but I don't have the other hazels to put this together, so that makes me sad. We do have 2 trigger fingers here. Just about your standard one that you would expect from the high grade line. And it does come with 2 of these. Some odd reason I only have one. I'm sure I flung the other one on the floor somewhere, so. And if you're curious what it looks like in the shield attachment, this is from the manual, and I wish I had these. It does also come with its own stand. I really like this. It's not great on the kit, but it also comes with this piece. I'm not really sure where this fits. I have to double check the manual again. Now on the bottom of the unit, you'll see this kind of weird looking square piece. It locks in this position, but not any other. So when you put it on the stand, so here it is on the stand. It's got this weird teeter-totter thing. I don't know if I messed up the locking mechanism, but it only likes to lock in this form here. And yeah, you'll see that when it's in its standing mobile suit mode, I don't really have it on the stand, and if I do, I had it balanced against the wall, doing something similar like this, because it was impossible for me to get it to actually stay in a position other than looking like it's flying forward or backdusting the hell out of here. So I've only transformed this thing about once or twice. It wasn't truly pleasant, as most parts formers are not, but we'll go ahead and start doing that right now. Well, here it is in the transform mode, or the parts form mode. The gun is very troublesome, and this is what you have to actually balance the kit on, and it can cause a lot of problems with the stand. I would highly recommend maybe trying to modify this into a tighter spot, or even giving it some reinforcement. Here it is next to the master grade, the real grade, and an SD cross silhouette. As you saw there, it is rather large compared to a standard size 1/44 scale. So how does the Gaplant TR-5 Hrairoo stand up to kits today? Well, what it lacks in structure makes up in its design and overhauling presence. Remember, this kit was made in 2006. I still feel like Bandai was going through a trial and error period, and with the overall mechanics of the high grades at that time, they didn't feel too evolved into what they are today. The build experience felt simple and rewarding, but when you go to parts form or transform it, to get it into the flight form, it is a real pain in the neck. I really wish this unit came with like a standard peg hole for it, that way you could put it on a universal stand, maybe like an action base to hold it, because it is quite heavy. Trying to pose it felt awkward sometimes because of the lack of articulation. With a lot of tender love and care, you can probably really make this Gaplant shine. I will be trying to work on it on my spare time. Maybe I'll put that on my Instagram if you want to check that out, and the link in the description below. So if you're looking for a big kit to put on your shelf and want it in that 1/44th scale, I would recommend picking up the RG Sazabi or the high grade Gustav Karl from Narrative. With that being said, the conclusion for this is, if you love the Hazels and you love Advance of Zeta, I would say definitely pick this up because it is very, very awesome to look at. But if you were just curious because you saw it on sale, I would definitely pick it up on sale or pick up a different kit. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching today. Let us know what you think about the kit in the comments below if you plan on picking one up yourself. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any videos in the future. This is Boomsie with the Gunpla Network, and don't forget to keep building.